Every single year, I get a bunch of frequently asked questions about coverage, how match works, how zone coverages work in Madden, and this year, it's a little bit more complicated than it's ever been. So buckle up. In today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about your coverage settings and what to expect. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Here from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about coverage. A lot of players are still confused after about a month and a half of Madden 23 being out as to what some of the settings do, how to set things on the field. Can I set zone drops when I play match? Can I basically play match without it playing match rules because I'm confused? What do I do? So we're going to take care of a lot of those questions here today, but before we get into the video, I want to make sure that you guys know about my strategy website. If you guys head over to www.gridirongameplans.gg, you're going to find far and away the best deal in the Madden tips space. For just $9.95 a month, you guys unlock everything on the website. We keep you on top of the meta week to week as well, not just dropping ebooks. So again, you're staying on top of the trends in Madden. We have a Discord channel with over 1,500 members that are constantly in there chirping it up every day, helping each other out with lineup suggestions, AP setups, clarification on tips that might be in the vault or in the individual game plans on the website. And every single Wednesday, we have our members only lab session where you guys can ask me or whatever pro is there from Gridiron Game Plans anything that you want to know about Madden to help you guys win more games. So check it out. We got 5 game plans on the website right now. The vault has been crazy with over 50 tips in the first 6 to 7 weeks of the season on top of all those game plans. Again, far and away the best deal that you can find in Madden to help you guys improve. No matter your skill level, there's something that you will learn on the website. Let's start off with probably the most frequently asked question about coverage in Madden, and that is, hey Zan, can I play match coverage and have zone drops active at the same time? And that answer is kinda. Now, running match coverage this year is a little bit more complicated than it's been in years past because EA decided that we have to turn on a switch in order to play match.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hey guys, could you do me a quick favor and make sure you guys hit that like button and then just put an emoji or some sort of comment below in the comment section. Helps throw this video into the algorithm and reach other viewers just like you that are searching for Madden tips tutorial content. It would mean a lot to me, helps me out, it's absolutely free. Truly means the world. Thank you guys. The truth is there were far too many players out there last year that were very upset when they would call a match play such as quarters, palms, cover 6, cover 9, and their guys didn't just drop straight back into the zones that the play art made it look like they were going to drop into. So this year, if you guys play match, you guys actually have to turn on a switch. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you if I turn match on, what this is effectively going to do is it's going to turn any of your coverage plays that have light pink zones. Those of you that maybe struggle with a little bit of color blindness, basically what I'm telling you here is anything that's cover 4 that doesn't say drop is going to have a match element to it. So cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms, for instance, would be another coverage. You also have cover 6 and cover 9, which have match rules. For those of you that can see the difference in the shades of pink and purple, basically if it's got pink in the play, it's a match coverage play. So that's going to activate the match rules for that play. So basically what this means is if I go ahead and I leave this on default and I come out in a match play, let's say quarters, and I'm running a offensive play against this, because the defense doesn't have the match setting on, it's going to play more like cover 4 drop. So basically what I'm going to show you guys here is that if I were to basically run a deep out route on the sideline here with Romeo Dobbs, you would actually notice that the outside quarter zone would drop off of that because there is a streak to the inside. And that really indicates that that is a cover 4 drop style coverage. Now what we're going to do is run the exact same concept with our match setting on. So I'm going to call that same cover 4 quarters, and you're going to see that it's going to change from cover 4 drop into cover 4 quarters match. So what you're going to see here is on Romeo Dobbs, the outside corner will convert into man-to-man on him. So on that out route, he stays on that man-to-man. For those of you that want to know more about how match quarters and palms and cover 6 and cover 9 work, I've got a comprehensive match game plan over on Gridiron Game Plans. So you guys can learn everything that you need to know about how to play match coverage. Doesn't matter if it's doubles, if it's twins, if it's compression bunch, tight formations. We have it all broken down. We've got rules for press versus off coverage. We've got special rules against trips tight end or Trey Y flex style formations. We basically break it down to a simple and digestible science that, you know, after one watch through, you're going to feel pretty confident in calling these coverages and knowing exactly what your defense is going to do. And Lord knows, in a game that is notoriously inconsistent, having something that you can rely on consistently is worth its weight in gold. So go check it out if you guys want to know how match works. But that is how you can get match to actually start matching. You got to turn on that switch. To kind of answer the question that we asked initially, can I run match with zone drops on? And remember I said kind of? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set my, let's actually set our curl flats to 30. So basically any curl flat, quarter flat, or seam flat zone is going to drop to 30. But we do have match on, right? So the thing here that you guys need to understand is that when you guys have a zone drop setting on, what will actually end up occurring is that it will turn off your match, even if your match switch is on. So having zone drops active plus match on does not equal match. So you're gonna see here that the slot defender is gonna drop all the way back. Now to do this, I've got to move the ball further back because I set it to 30. So let's move it to the south 40. And we'll watch this zone right, basically two zones. We got Hicks here in this purple or pink quarter flat, and then we've got Sullivan in this quarter flat as well. And I'm gonna spy the rush so you can see they're gonna drift all the way back to 30-yard depth. They're gonna get there very slowly, but I want you to watch them here. So just watch them drift and drift and drift and drift and drift and drift and drift. You see they're working back very slowly, but the zone drop does supersede the match setting. So that's really important to remember. If you guys are the type of player that does want to run a zone-based defense and mix in match, this next part is very, very important for you. So listen closely on this. If you have your match setting on and you have a zone drop setting on because you want to play base zone, but the opportunity presents itself where you want to revert back to your stock match rules, all you have to do on defense is reset the play. So what you're gonna do is pull up your audible menu on defense, and you're just simply gonna hit the left trigger, reset play. Now, with your auto flip on, sometimes guys will crisscross the field. You can turn that off and prevent that from happening. But what this is gonna do now, again, remember our setting had those 30-yard quarter flats. Now what we're gonna see is more of the match style coverage again. So if I were to run, you know, that deep out route to Romeo Dobbs on the sideline, you're gonna see that we're now back in match. So I snap this ball, and you see that it clearly is match coverage. Our purple zones underneath are not dropping to 30. Now, again, ignore the wide open inside receiver on the right side. That's for another day and another time. But you see that the match went back active. Why is this important? This is very, very important because what you can effectively do in your defense is come out, have your match setting active, set your zone drop profile to whatever you want. Let's say that your opponent is really big on spamming quick flats to maybe a tight end, and then they have intermediate 20-yard breaking corner route behind that. That's something that they love to do. We could come out in a defense where we have our zone drop set, and we can actually defend that specific play that our opponent likes to use as their base play. But if we get the vibe that they're not in that anymore, we can reset our play on the fly and allow ourselves to be in our match rules that will be pretty good for us. So let me give you an example. Let's say for whatever reason, we are facing a trips style play. Let's run, for instance, let's run like X under right here. And we know that they've got this quick throw that they want to throw into the flat. So let's put X on a flat, for instance. And then maybe they want a streak B, right? So in this situation, we would want something that could sit, you know, maybe at 20 yards on the sideline. And then we want that quick flat taken away. So we could come out in our match quarters, set up our zone out of this, which is, you know, going to allow us to maybe play a deep half, a 5-yard and a 20-yard on the right sideline. This is referred to as Mabel Coverage, and we can stop this setup. So we snap this ball, I can't throw the ball to X, I can't throw the ball to Y, we're sacked, right? Perfect zone drop setup. However, let's say for whatever reason, they audible into maybe a set like bunch. And now all of a sudden you want to be playing stock match against something. All you have to do is reset your play. Reset your play. Now, when we go to run, you know, whatever it is we want to run, we're going to be in a match style coverage. So if we run like a sideline flood here, you should see match rules in play. Now this deep out route might still get open and beat the match system, but you're going to see that it is in fact match. And really that actually handled it very well in terms of that sideline flood. So you can be technically in both. You can have zone drops active and you can play match at the same time as long as you reset your play, which is a really, really key thing. And a lot of players, I've talked to novice players that obviously don't know this because it is a little bit more involved, but I've also talked to pro level competitive Madden players that when I talk to them about this on defense, their minds are blown that you can actually do both of these at the same time. There's a lot of players out there that just play zone or just play match and they don't actually go in between and, you know, utilize these tools to their best benefit. So there you guys go. This is how you can play match and zone drops at the same time. Now in this portion of the video, I want to address another frequently asked question that only started being asked now in Madden 23. And that question is, can I expect a difference in my coverage if I'm playing just regular zone? We're not talking any match. We're talking plays that have just regular purple zones in them. Will it look different when I run it against the same play? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run cover 3, which is a coverage that obviously typically we've struggled with corner routes out of, right? A lot of times if you run bunch, a street corner flat combination, the outside third drops with the streak and allows the corner route to get underneath them. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to run, let's run a play such as Z-spot. And I'm actually going to put this on the short hash because street corner flat is better on the short side this year compared to being on the wide side previous years. And with this being set on default, you're going to notice that the corner route is always there. Always there. So I could go ahead and run the streak and then just throw this corner route up into this area. I mean, this is something that you guys probably face a lot right now in this game, right? So if we go back into the play call menu here and you guys were to turn on your match and call the exact same play against the exact same offensive play call, and we take a look here at this combo, you're going to see that it does work the exact same way. So the match switch, contrary to popular belief, is only going to work on match plays. So a lot of players are kind of saying out there that if you turn match on a stock play, then it's going to end up causing those zones to play differently. There are some edge cases where a zone will match something, but from my experience, it's not really changing too darn much the way drop zones play, regardless of what your setting is. The only thing that I can recommend, kind of wrapping up my thoughts on this whole thing, is that I showed you at the beginning that you can go from regular zone with zone drops on into match just by resetting your play, right? Why would you ever want your match setting off? It doesn't change how your zone drop plays play, and you can still access match by audibling into it. You can even run match and have zone drops on if you know how to reset. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing that I can tell you guys is run your match switch on at all times. And really the only scenario that I could ever tell you where you wouldn't want your match switch on is if you wanted to play cover 4 drop out of a formation that doesn't have cover 4 drop. So what I'm talking about here is you would want to call quarters, but you want to turn it into like for instance, this, I actually don't have a formation, but we all know how cover 4 drop, here we go, is 2 purples, 2 yellows, 4 deep blues. Let's say you wanted to do that out of nickel 2, 4, 5. So all you would really do here is basically come out in this formation, you would just turn your quarter flats into curl flats, and then you would just want to make sure that you have a second hook in the middle of the field. And now all of a sudden this is nickel 2-4-5 cover 4 drop. So it would play the exact same way. This is really the only scenario that I can give you in this game where you would want to turn off your match switch, is if you wanted to play quarters but make it play the exact same way as cover 4 drop. Again, here, when you run something like this, you're going to end up with potentially zone beaters beating it. So always be advised that this is something that can happen to you. Quarters is always better against a bunch set. Obviously, you have to make some changes if you're facing a pretty savvy player, but I wanted to clarify that for you. For those of you out there that don't know match, don't want to run match, hate match, want it to be cover 4 drop, yeah, leave your setting off. For the rest of you out there that have a little bit of a knowledge of how things work in this game, turn match on. Because there's never ever, in my opinion, a reason to play this game without the match switch on. So turn it on and start getting more stops out of non-man-based defenses in Madden 23. You guys, I hope you guys like this video. Please do me a favor. Make sure if you're still watching it at this point, that means you like the video, right? So make sure you guys drop a like below for me. Drop a comment. If you guys don't have any comments, throw an emoji down there below. It'll help me out. That's engagement for the video. It's huge for the channel. It helps this content reach other players just like you that are looking for Madden tips tutorial content. And if you guys want more, head over to gridirongameplans.gg. I'm literally busting my hump over there to keep those players on top of the most popular competitive metas, counter the most popular things you see online, whether it be offense or defense, and win more games. Win more games. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.